Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from the big island of Hawaii. Yeah, I'm in a little bit of a different position today, different position in my room. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe you can see me better. People were talking about backlight before.
Nana Dialogues.
There's my son, Ron.
So, is that a banana?
That's a banana.
It's a very small banana.
Yeah, they grow around here. The ones you're used to are called Williams. I know this is really part of Wisdom Dialogues, but it's called a Williams, and it's really long and it's impressive, right?
Yeah.
That's a variety of banana. There's many varieties of banana. Which one's this, Bron?
Not sure. It might be apple.
Okay, so yeah, they come in different sizes.
He just went out and picked a banana off the tree and he's eating it.
We have some in our house.
My husband cuts the racks down and then they end up in the house.
Oh, that is so awesome.
He doesn't actually go to the tree and pick it. Yeah.
My favorite's Cuban red.
Cuban red, his favorite.
Red banana.
Well, they have a red peel anyways. And then a darker meat. And they're kind of fat. They're like, Bron? They're a little bit thick.
They're pretty big.
Yeah. Yay.
Talking about bananas.
Go, bananas. All right. So anyways, Wisdom Dialogues. Laurie, did you have something for me or just...
I did have an experience that happened last Friday when I was taking care of the lady that I take care of. She's 80, she'll be 88 in May, and she's got a dementia, Alzheimer's. And it's my daughter-in-law's grandma. And normally I only watch her 1 to 5. It's my Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And last Friday, it was really cold here, and the lady that does the 7 o'clock in the morning to 1, her pipes froze, so she asked if I would come in and do the whole day. Well, right off in the morning, it was about 8:30, she fell. I was in the other room when she fell. I heard this thud.
Ooh. Wow.
She's basic. She weighs about 70 pounds. She's all skin and bones. And I went in there, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And she says, "I think so." So I got her up, and she was right in front of her chair. I don't know if she just stood up and took a step and down she went. So I got her in the chair. The rest of the day, she would not get up out of that chair. But that's par for the course. Lately, the Friday before that, I called them to tell them that she wouldn't move out of her bed all day, on my time. And she's just been very belligerent, stubborn, and all this. And when she fell, there was all kinds of guilt and I'm seeing the pattern. I'm seeing more patterns clearly. It's pretty cool, actually, because I've never, I've listened to non-duality and all that, and I've been introduced, as you're introduced to these new ideas, eventually it starts sinking in and you start experiencing that in life. And that's what's happening. I'm seeing the pattern of the guilt feeling and how it bounces back and forth between the feeling and the story, the feeling and the story, and the feeling and the story. And it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. The story
There's no more guilt.
The story is a feeling,
It's gone. There's no more guilt. There's no more pain. There's no uncomfortableness. She didn't break a hip or a leg. There's no fracture, but she doesn't want to walk. So I don't know. So there's going to be more care that she's going to need at home. So I got to go over and find out if I'm still going to do this, because I'm not sure if I'm not a nurse. I was just hired to watch her 2 years ago,
Okay,
Just for
so now the tone of your voice changed, and you
yeah.
just like when you start talking about what you've got to do, then the tone of your voice changed. That is all nonsense. There's nothing to do. There's no such thing as time. That's a thing. So that's the ego taking time and using it as if it's something that you can get something out of. But your spirit's use of time is to undo the mind, for undoing. The use of time is for undoing the mind. So you go into a little, okay, so next I have to do da 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 da, and look, the
Right.
tone of your voice changes. Watch when you're talking to people. You don't have to try to stop this.
Right.
You
Just
don't have to
notice
try
it.
to stop this. You don't have to try to stop it. You know,
have to chop it.
you don't have to chop it either.
Just
You don't have to
noticing
stop it or chop it.
being able to notice.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're just noticing how the tone changes.
Went down. Yes, it did
It's
change.
a feeling, that's why. It's a feeling that's why. The feeling like, okay, now I got to do this is like some redundant kind of self-talk.
Responsibility, yes.
Yeah. So
It's
it's like you know what you need to do when you know what you need to do. You just know. It's not. It's and
because
and
that's
now
the
I
future.
that exactly.
It's
See?
the future. Yes, I
Exactly.
see.
Yeah,
I
you just
see.
know. Yeah, you just know. There's no that voice that thinks it knows and then it's going on a ramble. That doesn't know.
Right.
So there's no need to pursue that. It doesn't know anything. It's not going to
'Cause-
get you anywhere good.
right. And it's not now. So it doesn't even need to be
Yeah.
entertained.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Ooh,
So,
that feels
so
good.
that's something that comes up very often for a lot of people. I know, in my experience, I'm running a business, an essential oil business, and get a lot of different things that, it seems like I need to figure this out. It seems like I need to figure this out. And, it's really true when the figuring out is left to the spirit, it just works itself out. The things
Yeah.
just kind of like pop up, and you just know, oh, that's my kuleana right now, like that's how, that's for me. That's for me to do, or you could say like that's my dharma if you're into that tradition,
So it's basically trusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trust is like, if you ever listen to Abraham Hicks, you familiar with
Yeah.
those guys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a reason they have it really high on that scale.
Yeah.
Because trust is like right there at knowing. See? So it's like when you can't trust, it's not like you can always trust, because it's like you don't know enough to trust. There's so much ignorance, right?
Right. Right.
Just watch the non-trust, watch the ignorance play out. That's all. No, just show me, in a show me kind of attitude. Show me. And watch the ignorance play out, because that's not your ignorance like that. It's just that it's kind of like this. One way I like to explain it is it's kind of like, when you're in the spirit world before you've taken on any kind of form, and I say taking on, not jumping in one. It's taking it on, acting like it's you. It's kind of like you diving happily into a sea of delusion and having fun making your way to the surface.
Oh.
See? So it's like even through the delusion, the willingness to be in alignment with your spirit, so to speak, which is fun. It's like, okay, let's see where this goes. It's all learning and fun. Nothing's actually happening on the surface. There's nothing we need to try to control there. It's a playing out of the past. See? All that's happening is an emotional energy and a reflection of emotional energy. See?
Almost everybody's off the page.
Yep.
What's that?
Oh, he's watching the stats. He said almost everyone's off the page because it shows me like if it thinks people aren't attentive, like if they aren't looking at the page, then it shows like a little warning sign looking computer thing. So he's looking at it and he's telling me what's going on.
Oh. So the emotion.
It's an emotional, you can look at it as an emotional body. Yeah. And, while we're on Abraham Hicks, it's like when I first heard of Abraham Hicks, that was probably like the year this guy was born. That was like 9 years
It's a long time ago for me too. Yeah.
Yeah, almost 10 years ago. And at that time they said something like, if you will just get that this is an emotional journey. It's like at that time I was like, what does that even mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what does that even mean? And it's like, yeah, it's like that's really kind of like what it is. You just really get that it's an emotional journey. You get that whatever you're experiencing is a reflection of an emotional body. That's why it's an emotional journey. Everything that can be perceived is a perception, right? And it's a reflection of what's put out from here. It seems like it's made of material and stuff like that, but it's not. It's only made of thought. And this energy body projects it. See? It's projected through this energy body. So it's like, here's how A Course in Miracles looks at it too. It's like, okay, there's the ego's will, which is for you to get something in time, right? And then there's the will of your spirit, which you've never really left. There's the will of your spirit that to undo any delusion. It's not even real. It's delusion. I mean, look at what the word means. It's not even something that's real. So it's to undo delusion. The spirit world does not include separateness. It doesn't include any kind of uncomfortable feeling. It doesn't include death. It's only deepening stages of bliss. And see, here's the thing. It's like we've been trained that you can only have so much pleasure. You can only get to a certain amount. And then it has to go in another direction, like towards death, so to speak. And it's like it's almost like, well, it is like the subconscious mind is looking for the opposite of what we really want.
Something to be wrong.
Yes, something to be wrong. Yeah, because it seems like we're not worthy of more and more pleasure, bliss, joy, connection, ever deepening. But that's our reality, as we take it. What's that?
It's almost like it's capped, like waiting for the other shoe to drop, because it can't be that we could be happy all the time.
Exactly. And the first time I noticed that was when I had a boy and a girl, and they were both babies. And I actually told my mom, oh my goodness, Mom, my life is just like, it's like a perfect. It's like I got a house, husband, business, 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Something has to go wrong.
Yes, right.
That's what I told her. I said, something has to go wrong. This was after my boy who's 16 now. Gosh, this is just like too good to be true. Something's got to go wrong. And like I heard myself say that all those years ago, and I was just kind of like, what? Why does something have to go wrong? I kind of question that. Like, why does something have to go wrong? What is that feeling? A lot of people may not say that, but in so many words they do. There's all kinds of like innuendo when you're talking to people and stuff. It's like you deserve something. You deserve something other than what really demonstrates who you are.
Well, that's with the tone of voice going down and the obligation, that feeling of contraction, and I have to do something. Yeah. I don't.
As if there's something to take you away from all that
everything
is.
being okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Something can possibly take you away from anything. So see what the ego tries to do is determine the outcome, determine what this means. Okay, now this means Laurie has spent this many hours doing this and this and this and this. Try to make a determination. The curiosity gets lost like that. See? The curiosity is lost. One
Because
thing,
obligation is more
yeah,
contracting.
it's
Yeah.
a contraction, right? So the curiosity, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. You know,
Yeah.
it's like we don't know, we have no idea. But if we can be open to what can happen, you know, one thing they say, another one that's really awesome is you don't know what you need to know until you know it. You know,
Right.
it's
Right.
like you can't know ahead of time.
No, you can't know
Just
ahead of time. Right.
you stay open. And then the other one, this is access consciousness. That's who says that one. You can't know what you need to know until you know it. And then also the other one that they like to do is, how does it get better than this?
Mm.
How does it? It's a question. And you know, and one thing they talk about is living in the question. Yeah. And living in the question of how does it get better than this? Because that's a question.
Mm.
And all questions, always when you ask, it's answered. See?
Mm.
But most people aren't asking the right questions.
Right.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
the
because
deal.
there's a heaviness when I think of um having to deal with this older lady, but there's it's good money, you know? So
This
there's
is
all
your
that weighing
opportunity.
it.
This is your opportunity right here. This
Yeah.
is so good.
How can it get better? How
Yes.
can it get better?
Living in the question, this is an opportunity to be in a question of how can it get better than this? How does it get better than this? Because it's up to you to see the way, right?
Well, not that I mean,
Tell me how that sits with you.
it's up to me to see the way that felt heavy.
It
Like,
felt heavy.
yeah, like I have to do something to see it.
Well, here's the thing. It takes, it definitely takes attention.
Yeah.
It takes attention. And it's true that you don't have to do it in the sense as you don't have to make yourself do it. Something will just click. But just
Mm.
listen that it takes attention and
Just by being
let it
open to
fall
that.
playfully. Yes.
Okay.
Just listen to the you know the pointing that it takes attention and let it fall really playfully because what it takes attention is also a concept. Just
Hmm.
let it fall. Let it just fall playfully that it takes attention because here's what it's like. I can give you like a little bit of my experience of what it's like to sort of like stand in that gap.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
It's okay, so it's like this thought, feeling, emotional thing is coming up about all this pressure on me now.
Hmm.
There's thoughts about money and it's really compounded. There might even be something in there like, you know, in my case, something might come up like, why didn't I just marry rich? You know, anything. Just things
Right.
just come up. You know,
Yep.
it's not anything personal. Doesn't mean
Right.
anything. That's why it's funny. It's fun to say what they are because they're funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're ridiculous. So it's like while all these things are coming up, there's just this willingness to and a curiosity about what it's like to have this experience. What it's like to have this experience. It's so very different, but it's just a little tiny shift of consciousness. But it's so very different from living as if this what I'm thinking is true. See? It's just little tiny beep, beep.
Mm.
But there's a willingness there because with the ego's thoughts, there's a hook.
Right.
Well,
Right.
you feel the hook. You can sense that, what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Mm-hmm.
sensing the hook. And, it's like, you don't have to go. You don't have to go with that wave. You can
Once
stay.
that hook is in, it more adds to it.
Yes, but see, there's no past. So if you're hooked only right now.
Oh,
So you can
right.
get unhooked right now.
Right. Okay.
See, but that's up to you totally. That's a choice.
Really?
See, yeah, really. That's a choice. It's the only choice you ever, 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 ever make.
Is whether I get hooked or not.
Nope. It's
No.
not. It's not like that, because when you
No.
say it like that, it's as if it's not happening now.
Oh.
The choice is just to get unhooked right now. Why be hooked? Who's hooked?
Right. Who's hooked? Right. Why be hooked?
See how the guilt is always a past thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It
like,
is.
oh, I got hooked.
Yeah.
Well, what? That doesn't exist. The got hooked.
Mm.
if you're
Because it's gone.
if you're hooked, get unhooked. Fuck it. What are you waiting for?
Because it's almost. I was listening to our last week's when we were talking, and it was so freeing
Mhm.
to think, fuck it, just let it all happen.
Yeah. Don't be. It's like, look, who's hooked? What is hooked? It's
Yeah.
funny. I have something to share. Yesterday, I definitely got hooked. It was really fun. At the end of it, it was, thank you. You guys really got me.
Give me the scenario.
It was Citibank credit card.
Okay. And
Well, their internet didn't work, so like I couldn't log in. So I'm on the phone with them, and they go, "Okay, we need to verify your security, so we're sending you a text." And I'm like, no, there's no text." They're like, "Well, we can't verify your security, so now you have to go to this other thing where you stay on hold for like a half an hour, and then they verify your security manually." And I just felt so frustrated. I felt so like, and at the end of the whole thing, by the way, it never worked because their software is glitching or something. I don't even know what's going on. But I just felt so frustrated. And, I just said, I just at the end just said, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much. You guys, you freaking got me this morning. I got to tell you, you got me. Thank you." I don't know if they knew what I was talking about, because
no, probably not.
I wasn't mean to him or anything. I was just kind of like, okay, well, you know what? How about this? How about I just get off the phone right now and check again in a week and see if you guys got your shit together.
There you go.
Yeah. And I was just like, and I really felt this sense of frustration, and it was obvious, like so obvious. It's so obvious to me when there's a sense.
Well, because you're not frustrated most of the time, so now it's like a
Exactly. And then
big temple bell. Yeah.
it's obvious to my whole family. My husband knows. My husband knows. He goes and prepares the yoga room. And as soon as I see that happening, so I'm like wrapping up the call, and he's like, "Yoga?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Hug?" And I'm like, "Yes."
What do you mean? You
What?
go into the yoga room after?
Well, we were
What,
just having some yoga. We're going to have some yoga.
after frustration?
Yeah, it was, oh, that feels good. That feels good.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the energy, it's like the energy of frustration, you can sense it. You can sense a heaviness in your energy field, right?
Yep.
And it's like, I see, this isn't a choice that I make. This is just the way it gets set up for me.
Right.
It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
And the timing is just like this. I don't know why. It's all for awakening the mind. That's all I know. It's all for fun. So I sense this frustration all in my body. and go into yoga with still feeling it. I even start to cry a little bit. I even start to tear up a little bit in the yoga, because it's like it's pretty deep.
Mm.
And and then I could feel it just like coming
And releasing.
it just
Wow.
calms down again. It just calms down again. And the thing about it is there's so much insight that comes from that. It's such a gift. So when something like that happens, there's a sense of excitement too. And even like when the yoga was starting, a little tearing up a little bit, that little bit of sadness, feeling of frustration and fear. I want my online banking.
Mm.
How will I do it without my online banking? It's so fun. It's funny and cute. And then at the same time, when you're in it, there's a sense of sadness. But what I see so clearly is that there's no way that this feeling of sadness is caused by Citibank.
Right. It's a
It's not.
pattern. It's a pattern of it.
It's a habit. It's a
Yeah.
habit of resistance. So
Right.
habit of resistance, when it comes, it's so welcome, because this is where it gets played out. And it's for me, I'm the audience. It gets played out in my view.
Mm.
In my viewing it gets played out. But viewing it in fully, this viewing, it's not just with the eyes. Let's not even call it viewing. Let's say experiencing.
Experiencing.
It's not just with the eyes. It's with everything. I mean,
The body.
even the eyes, they don't see anything all by themselves. Is it the eyes are that's one sensation. The ears are taking in some sensation. The skin is taking in some sensation. The whole body is taking in energetic, emotional energy, passing, changing, fluctuating. Look at what the body is. It's an organ for interpretation of energy. That's what it's for.
Beautiful.
It's just to interpret this experience that does not exist but for our interpretation. We give it all the meaning that it has. Just doesn't exist but for that. See? So it doesn't mean anything without us. What does that have to do with anything? It doesn't mean anything without us. All of a sudden, Donald Trump pops into my head. Whatever people are making of Donald Trump, that's for themselves.
Right.
Whether he's a savior, whether he's Antichrist, I don't know, Satan. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever people are making of him, that's for themselves. It's also all conditioning. It's also all conditioning. Whatever, you cannot be right. You cannot be right about Donald Trump. Sorry. You can only be right for your own experience. You're right to the extent that whatever you think about him applies to you. As in, if you're holding any judgment for him that says what's he doing? I don't know. Whatever he's doing. Don't know either.
But that goes for everyone.
It goes for everyone. It goes for every single one. And that's why I just hold up a name that everyone knows,
Oh, right. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it goes for and everything. And it only takes one to be holding a judgment against, where the judgment is upon your own heart. Jesus said, "Judge thee not, lest he be judged." It's not God that judges anyone. It's not like that. You could say, okay, if you want to say that God judges, then there's only God's fair judgment, which is, hey, I made you.
Right.
Can't be anything but me, okay?
We're basically judging ourselves, and then that goes out.
Yes, and one of them is judging ourselves as unworthy of a certain amount of money. That's one of them.
Right.
Or I have to earn the money. I should be earning money. See, it's like once I stop thinking of money like that, like it's something I have to earn, like I have to get a good hourly wage or something like that, once I really stop thinking about money like that, then I start to see things transforming, you know. You don't know what can happen with, you know, money is also like a body. It's for awakening the mind, you know. We're also interpreting energy. And there's no way we could ever be without money. We always have all the money in the world. If we don't see money, if we don't perceive money, if it seems like there's not enough money for us to meet our needs, that is totally an emotional issue. It has nothing to do with the money. Not one thing to do with the money. Everything is an emotional thing. Okay. And I know it really pains some people to hear that when they feel like, oh, but I need to get my ends met, my needs met. Okay, fine. That's fine. You go about whatever it is that you seem to be going about doing to get the needs met. You know, it's fine. It's just that underneath that whole experience, the whole experience of getting the needs met and everything like that, that is all for the very same purpose. So that eventually it's just a seeing that there is no need that's gone unmet. There's nothing missing here. Nothing's missing here. How can you have yoga if something's missing? You can go in there and do some poses, but you can't really have yoga if something's missing. See, it takes a certain kind of focus. It takes an inward focus. So if you're believing a thought that says something's missing, it keeps you focused outward to get that missing piece. See?
I do see.
That's basically non-yoga.
And
I'm
that's
not
what
talking
creates
about posing. Yeah.
experience to see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So are you getting to understand what I mean by choice now?
Okay, I think so.
That it's
Yeah.
so present. It's so right here. What makes it heavy is that I could have made the wrong choice before. See? That's not what's meant by choice here. It's not the ego's way of choice. The choice you have is only in this instant. I can tell you there's a lot of power in that. Because in just recognizing that you have the choice to make, whether you make it or not isn't relevant, because you're watching it play out. And when you're watching that choice that would feel so good not be made, you get more and more excited for it to be made. Maybe the next time that same energy comes around. See?
Wow, that's
right
beautiful.
Now, choice. Right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, like, for me lately, all it's been taking is that thought, like, Citibank or whatever it is not causing this feeling. It's nothing that I think it is. It's nothing that I think it is. Okay, then I'm in the energy of show me. And in that energy of show me, it's so beautiful because I feel this heaviness in my body just being released.
Oh my
Heaviness
God.
in my mind relaxing. And I know good is coming. How can it not be?
How could it not be?
Yeah, it's obvious. See, I said before that it's like math. It's like however the feeling is in the energy field, that's what's coming. That's what's coming. So it's like, how can it get better than this? Show me. Living in a question, not in thinking I know. Because what I think I know changes from moment to moment.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. The body is water. It's like 70% water, and that's physically and metaphorically. The thought patterns that are that patterns of consciousness that are passing through this energy body are changing it all the time. What it thinks it knows is patterns of energy. What it thinks it knows. There's one thing that we all know for sure. It's unquestionable. And that's what I'm pointing to here with all these words and concepts. So let them fall easily, gently on your heart. If there's any resistance, I love to hear about it. If you're eager to know, I love to hear about it. I know the difference between resistances. If you're not eager to know, then I not really interested. But yeah, let me know what resistance comes up, and you know, that's very helpful, because we can walk through it, and it gets recorded too, so for other people they could walk through it too, and it's fun. Yeah. So thank you. I love how you're always so willing to just say it, Laurie. You don't agree. You don't just agree.
No,
I can
not
tell.
until there's a realization that comes.
I love that. I love that. And I love this medium, I guess you can say, for communicating. It's I started on Facebook with the comments and stuff, but we really can't get so deep there with just the comments, you know?
No.
When we're able to really go and say, okay, what is it? What is the resistance, you know?
Right.
And look at it and go, okay, well, look over here and see if you see it like this.
Well, you can't hear my energy exchange in the text in typing.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and that's another thing too. Like you see how you see how there comes to be a sensitivity for these changes in voice patterns, even changes in your own voice patterns.
Yes, that's
so
what
there comes to be a sensitivity for that.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, that's exciting to me.
And so and so with the sensitivity automatically comes alertness.
Right.
And with that alertness,
Awareness.
automatically becomes the ability to make the choice. It's like
Right.
that choice, that powerful choice really can't be made until that energy field is ready, because there's too much fear. It feels good, but there's all this fear. So when you know there's a choice that could really feel good, but there's this fear around it, it's in just experiencing that whole fear, wanting everything all together, because in that detached kind of experiencing, the concepts can play out in a way that demonstrates who you are. See? And
no,
that
I don't see.
You don't.
I don't.
Tell me.
No. Okay, say that again. In that energy exchange, you're able to see who you are.
I don't think I said that. I don't remember what I said, and I don't have a rewind button.
I know. Okay, my mind went immediately to, because you said, oh shit, I don't have a rewind button either. The minute you said, see who you are, is it possible?
I don't even remember in what context I said that. What was the feeling like? What did it feel like?
Is it possible to see who you are?
Not like you think.
Not like right.
Yeah, because it's more like it's more like it can be demonstrated through you. You know, I have seen as a demonstration, not with physical eyes, but like as a demonstration of who I am, as in experiencing really heavy energy where I'm just about ready to blow my lid and really feel like I'm going to tear into someone who I love. And it's going to have some amazing repercussions. That's the way these things go, you know. And just like this real heavy energy where I'm just like about ready to blow up.
Yeah.
And in the moment of let me see, and let me say an attitude of let me see, it was seeing the power of who I am, as in this whole heaviness and out of control and just bugging out, gone in an instant, replaced with compassion. That's the kind of seeing that I mean.
Oh, wow.
It's just in an instant, like everything just shifts, you know. And then there were really big ones early on when there was first just like, wow, I have this choice. I have this choice. It could happen. And I was totally detached from not being, not having it, because just having the experience, I saw how valuable that was. So it was okay with me if I did keep on going and have a big old with
I haven't had anything like that in so long, not even anger. I mean, I remember being so angry that I used to, the things I've done in the past, the anger was just explosive. And I haven't been angry or frustrated in a long time.
Okay, so there's some, I haven't been this and this and this in a long time. Yeah. But are you experiencing any energy fluctuations? Like, earlier today when you're talking, and
definitely subtle, yeah. Yes. But there's been no, I just want to, I've not had extremes like that. I'd love to see. Oh my God, I'm calling it in. Back to Abraham Hicks, the law of attraction.
What about someone else's anger in your experience?
What do you mean, someone else's anger? Yeah, well, when Peter gets angry, it doesn't trigger any anger where it used to be. That would be a head button thing.
Yeah.
And now
so
it's
what
not.
Is it? What is it now? What is it for you?
It almost passes through. It's like there's doesn't hit anything.
Okay.
Like before it seemed to hit something, like maybe a guilt of or something, and it needed to defend.
Okay.
I guess. And now it's doesn't hit anything where there's no spark, there's no ignition. There's no.
So is there any engagement? Does he engage you?
Right. There's no engaging.
I see.
I don't.
Okay. So look. So here's the thing. When it comes to anger coming into the experience, it's always our own. It doesn't matter what body did it. See?
Okay. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter what body it comes out of. It's always our own body. So do you think he's just like that? How long has he been getting angry?
How long? Oh my God, how long has he been getting angry?
The whole time?
What do you mean the whole time?
Like the whole time you guys been together?
Oh, yeah. I mean, off and on. Yeah. It used to be a lot more. Now it's not much at all.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, there's only certain triggers, like when he's frustrated with work or something that happens with his car outside, or there's a lot less.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot.
Okay, so here's what's fun too. It doesn't really matter if it's a big one or a little one. Every single one is for an opportunity.
Okay.
So see, if you're having like the really big ones, those do seem really easy because like, wow, wow, that's really up, But then there's like a little bit of irritation or even that sense of obligation, it's like there's not really a difference from one that's huge to one that's small. So to experience that, to see the truth or to see the truth in through the experience.
In all of it.
In all of it, yeah. So even where it's coming up and it's just kind of it's just kind of nagging. It's kind of
like a little irritant. Yeah.
Yes, this little irritant. Now there's this problem with this lady who's falling, and then I have this stuff to do, and there's this money thing, and just all that kind of stuff. It's like it's always, always, always available. So what happens is when one of these irritants comes into the experience, it tends to take up a lot of air in the room, as in take up a lot of space and thought, right?
Right.
The thoughts keep on coming back and coming back and coming back. So the miracle in experiencing who you are in that, seeing who you are in in the spiritual sense of seeing, it's like just the same as if you were really going off and you were just like ready to pop, right? It's still a belief in something that's untrue, and just letting that compassion come in for that right there in that moment. Not in believing that there's anyone to be obligated. See? It's just whatever the experience is right now, that there's someone obligated, it's an emotion. It's an emotional sensation. So in experiencing that emotional sensation as an emotional sensation, though.
And that's all it is.
That's all it is. Exactly. And that's how it's in a Course in Miracles, they call it a miracle. Because it's like instantly you're saved from that. You're saved from it. You don't have that. That's no longer relevant. It's like for me, I had this nagging, like, I just hate that I have to do taxes and pay taxes. I had this nagging thing like this. And it was like, oh, there's just this realization and so much joy. It's like, I don't have to do the taxes or pay taxes. And it's like, I felt like a little kid at just like in a candy store, like, oh my goodness, I don't have to do that. Like, oh, I thought I had to do that, but I don't. Anyway. Yeah, I thought I had to do that, and I don't. That's the truth. I thought I had to do that, and I don't. It's a dream. That doesn't mean that the things aren't getting done. The taxes probably are going to get paid. I don't know. It's not that time yet. The paperwork is probably going to get done too. I don't know. All there is for me is to show up for my kuleana, you can say, or my dharma, or my duty, you could say. Do you know what I mean? It's like you just know.
I can't.
Yeah, it's like yesterday. There's all this sense of frustration and overwhelm when I stepped into the yoga room, and it all just started bearing down, like, because there was it was permissiveness. I was just like permitting all these thoughts, and they weren't being checked at the door. I was just permitting all these thoughts, and I could tell I'm on a delusional journey right now. And you know what? I'm stoked about it, because for one thing, it's I'm being led. I know I'm being led appropriately to see whatever I need to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the thoughts are compounding, and it comes to, and I have all this shit to do. How am I gonna? It's almost like I can't even say it as fast as it comes in. You can't even say it that fast, and it's just like it just calculated all this shit I have to do and how little time I have to do it.
Right.
Right. It just like did all this calculation like super fast.
Yeah. And then the pressure in the body.
Yeah, right before I sat down to yoga. So I'm like, okay, that's going into yoga too. I could feel that, And it's funny because the way the day went, because it's like when those quote unquote work day started, because this was like super early in the morning, and then there's yoga, and then there's work day that starts at 9. The work day starts at 9. I go and do art with my son for like an hour and a half. Don't even pay attention to any work.
Oh.
Just because that's where I was led. That was it. It was like, for me, it's like, okay, where, it's always living in this question, like, what is it? Where am I? I don't even know what the words are. You see how the words don't come out because there's not words for it, but it's kind of like, where am I? Where am I led? And, kind of like being led from my heart. Yeah. So I did art with my son at the table while everyone else is working, because I can do that because I'm the boss. but I sit there and I'm doing art for an hour and a half, And then the next thing you know, one of the ladies who worked with us comes as I'm wrapping up. She's like, Hope, I'd really like to talk to you about this. And I don't even know what it is. And I go, okay, how about right now? She turns the computer around and we start talking. We just have a conversation for a few minutes. And I notice how that just wiped off like 3 or 4 of those things that the mind calculated would take a hell of a long time to do. I just like checked them right off my list. I didn't even have to go looking for that. I was over there doing art.
And it got done.
It got done. And then I felt to go up to Akaya's cabin, the ferry cabin up there, at the top of the campus, and I go up there, sit down with her, smoke a little bit of spliff with her, and next thing I know, someone says, "Hey, Hope, I really would like to talk to you." Wipes out like 3 more things on my list.
No
check.
way.
Yeah. I'm not even looking for it. I'm not even looking to complete this whole thing that went blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my goodness, that has to be meaningless because of the way it feels.
Yeah.
That has to be meaningless.
God.
And then it seems like I was
all get done.
Yeah, and then it seems like I was just a powerhouse. But I didn't seem to really do anything.
No.
I was pretty much chilling. I was doing art. I had a conversation. I was hanging out with my daughter. We were looking at some software while we're smoking a spliff. That was productive. Next thing you know, and it's all just and it's all just because there wasn't this need to interfere, you know, to take on this. It's literally, I know this relates to people who have had this experience where it's literally the ego will say so fast, you do not have enough time to do all this stuff. You sure as don't have time to do yoga right now.
And it goes like this. Oh, I have so much to do today.
Yep. I know. And here's the thing about time. This is a great thing about time because, you know, I know you guys have heard that there's no such thing as time, but look how time is used by the spirit. If you're in tune with how time is used by the spirit, time becomes so much fun, and these ideas that limit time, they become irrelevant to you. You know, the spirit uses time to undo this illusion. That's all it's for. That's all it's for. So this moment is so precious. You know, it was coming to me a couple words today while I was laying in the sun were careful, one of them.
Care.
Because in the seeing of it, it's like, do I see in truth? Do I see this in truth? Just right now, not in the past or the future. Just right now. Do I see this in truth? Careful. Each moment, they're sensing when there's a trigger coming, even before it comes. Each moment, careful, just to be alert for what's coming, what's arising in the energy field. Careful and courageous. Courageous to speak whatever it is that feels good. And courageous to see what's really true. Because for the most part, there's not the courage to see through what's true because of the belief and delusion. The courage isn't there. It's kind of covered up. It's there. It's just covered. The courage to go through whatever it is. Because there's this tendency to try to run and hide from it. See? Not to just go through whatever it is. Experience whatever it is. Experience this sense of obligation. That's a big one. You know, you don't see it so big, like a big kind of energy. You don't see it like that.
Right.
But you know,
feel the constriction.
Yes, and it's just as big. It's just as big, and you could even call it kind of like
inward.
You can even call it kind of passive aggressive. Hey, look at me. I don't blow up. I don't get angry or anything. but it is
Anger
building
inward.
anger. It's building anger. Yes, it is building irritation, all of that.
Yeah.
It's building anger. And whether or not that anger is expressed on the surface,
Right.
you will get representations of it. Someone getting angry at you, it's the same. It's the same. It's always building irritation. It's always this building irritation. But that doesn't mean it's personal still. All
Right.
it means is it's for you because there's only right now. Remember, there's only right now. Personal is also past and future. There's no personal right now.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just whatever it is. If there's not saying, well, that has nothing to do with me, because you see, that's not being present for it. If it's like, no, that's over there, it's not coming out of me. That's why it's helpful to remember there's no difference in what body it actually came out of.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because it's all for our experience. It's all for healing the mind. It's all for and as the mind heals, here's the greatest. As the mind heals, more fun, more joy, more connection. I mean, it's like always, how can it get better than this? And you're shown exactly how to communicate. You're shown exactly what to do, and it's just a magical kind of experience.
Are you shown, or it just happens?
What's that?
Are you shown, or is it just happens?
You know what? There's something being shown, because what I notice is there'll be flashes of insight.
Oh.
Where there will be maybe something weighing on my consciousness, maybe something a little bit confusing to me, like maybe a way that I related with someone. It'll be weighing kind of in a confusing fashion. And then all of a sudden it'll be shown to me, oh, it could be like this. Oh, it could be like that. and it's like, oh, it could be like that. It's almost like you're shown the way. It's like it's like divine guidance.
And then the realization.
And then it just happens because it's fun.
Yeah.
It just happens because it's fun. Because see, we're not open to most possibilities.
Right.
We're not open to most possibilities for the most part.
Right.
Whenever there is living in that energy that show me, or how can it get better than this?
Yeah, it's the open.
There's openness to new information.
Right. Yeah.
We have to have openness to new information to perceive anything different than we have perceived before.
Right. Right. I can see that. Right.
When the opening is there. What?
When you're contracted, of course there's no opening. Of course I mean, you're just locked up. You're there's no way to see beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't see beyond. I've had things like, in intimacy type things where I don't want to say what I would really like,
Oh,
I don't want to. For whatever reasons, I just don't feel like I want to, say it. And it's funny because it's like just being in the question, how does it get better than this? Because there's this fear of how that would be taken in an intimate.
Right.
And I've experienced it being taken like really defensive, in a really defensive way.
Right.
So just like really not wanting to disturb that. And just kind of like living in the question, let me see, and holding it really open. For one, I'm not holding it as my partner needs to change or anything, or having any ideas. That's the thing about living in the question. You're not holding any ideas, because the ideas are what close us off.
Right.
So just living with the question, let me see, how does it get better than this? And, I'm putting words to it right now, but as I was, that's kind of like the energy of it, the feeling of it.
Right.
It's kind of enjoying enjoying the uncomfortable kind of upset sensations as they're there, because knowing that it's birthing something new. It's birthing a new way of being.
Instead of trying to fight it, instead of trying to
Exactly.
push it away. Yeah.
Exactly. And then for me, it just automatically, the moment was ripe. And, there's some, I don't know how to communicate this. There's some kind of feeling when you just know the moment is ripe. And it's just, and whatever's spoken is, it can be received. And it just, I don't know how to really say that in a way that it can be communicated, but there's just a sense that the moment is ripe now. And it's just, and the way it comes out is just a beautiful communication where you just know, you could just sense everything just changed. That is also seeing who you are.
And it's like feeling, I can feel the openness in, it feels like openness. As you're speaking, I feel so open.
Nice. I'm so glad.
I just feel like you're, it's all about being open. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because see, and and that's why there's a lot of sharing about you are innocent. You are worthy of only the best. You cannot possibly do wrong. Because there's these thoughts, the opposite of those thoughts are prevailing in the mind. In the mind, they're prevailing in the mind. And the thing is, in this moment in time, in this instant in time, that's how it is. But that's not how it's always going to be. That's not how it's always meant to be. How is it going to change? It's up to us. Isn't that fun? I mean, I love it because I don't have to take things the way normal people take things. It's like there's a really strong in my experience, especially over the past 2 days, there's been a really interesting thing with technology lately. I shared about the Citibank thing, but with the technology in my office, things that I use, I think it's 3 different things that really went down hard in the past couple of days. It seemed to be like really, just like, oh wow, is basically I'm spending my time that I normally do at work, doing this technical type stuff, repairing stuff and things like that. And so then, and the way it's seen is, number 1, temporary. Number 2, wow, this kind of experience is the kind of experience that my mind uses to bring up a lot of frustration and fear.
Oh yeah.
And and the thing is, it's for me, it's delightful. Delightful. Pleasurable.
Well, you can test all this out.
I know it's birthing something. It's birthing something new. Anytime there's any kind of a sense of upset or anything like that, it's always birthing something new. It's birthing something different. There's change occurring. I don't know what it is, but I know I'll be guided, just like I told you about how my day went yesterday. I know I'll be guided in the moment exactly what is being asked of me. All I have to do is show up for that, whatever it happens to be. See?
Yeah.
It's just showing up with a sense of curiosity.
Right.
Yeah. For how it's going to go, not buying into, oh my goodness, it's like the pull. Yeah, the habit was to tell my husband how I have way too much work and I'm too frustrated and I need to do something right now. Yeah. Yep. And it's like,
to get away from it instead of being open to it.
Yes, exactly. And experiencing it as it is, as an energetic. not as a material thing, not as something permanent. It's not like I'll permanently be doing technical support. In fact, the funny thing is I just hired a guy today that said that says that he gave me a ridiculously good deal. These Puna people are the best, man. He gave me such a good deal, I feel, for his kind of expertise to do the technical stuff.
Oh, awesome.
He kind of like dropped into my lap, though.
Yeah, of course.
He just kind of like dropped in. I didn't go looking for a guy like this. I didn't even like, think of the possibility. I didn't even think of the possibility, but I was asking for something else from someone else, and she said, "Oh, you should talk to this guy about this," and I'm talking to him about it, and he goes, "Oh, by the way, I just want you to know that I am a whiz at all things technical, and I'd charge you the same amount for anything technical. We could do it on your computers, or we can do it, we can do it through like a webinar, or I could just come over." And especially here in Pune, it's so sweet. Like, I feel like what he's charging me is like such a fraction of what it's worth, and I just can't even be more grateful for that. And he just feels happy to be contributing and have something to do for here in Pune, where it's just like heaven.
Boy, I know.
Yeah, it's like heaven. Yeah. We were just having rain for like 3 or 4 days straight. It was very, very intense. It was wonderful. Just
heavy,
beautiful.
Really heavy.
Heavy. It was not messing around. It was so refreshing. And then, then the clouds part and you're in the sun, just loving up a little bit of a cool breeze this time of year. Hot sun plus cool breeze this time of year. Naked is good. Naked is best. Yeah. We go from beanie and really warm stuff to naked. Sometimes in the same day.
I just remember I loved it.
Yeah.
Everything about it.
Yeah, we're super blessed.
Yeah.
We're super blessed.
So
I don't know. I don't know if I have more for you. Let me see. I don't see anyone raising their hands or wanting to talk to me. I hope you guys are enjoying. I don't get a bunch of feedback on this one. It's not quite like the in-person one where we're all making eye contact. Gosh, I love that.
I know. I wish we could, because I could see you, but it sucks that you can't see me.
And you know what? The thing is, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I'm going to have that one dude I just told you about tell me, "Thank you, Amber, for letting me know you're listening. I love you. Thank you." I'm going to have that one. Thank you, Holly. I love you too.
It was pretty intense. This was pretty.
I'm going to have that one guy look into it. Yay. Thank you, Scott. I love you. Careful and courageous. Yay. So I'm going to ask him, just show me what I can do. I would really like to see the people who are on with me. It would be lovely if they would like to be seen. It's always optional like that. And if it's a possibility from here, one thing he shared with me is that since we're on the island, even fiber, which I have now, which is like 300 megs, it's supposed to be screaming fast. He said it just doesn't work the same on the island because it can only go through one cable all the way across the ocean. So I kind of understand that. And then at the same time, how does it get better than this?
There you go. How does it get better?
Happens. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I asked him right now to research for me. So he's actually on that, researching that for me, how it does get better than this.
Awesome.
Yay. So, yeah, I look forward to more and more exchanges, and I love you guys. I thank you so much. Yeah, so,
Thank you.
Yay.
Big time.
So yeah, so I'd like to let you know about my essential oil company, and if you want to, if you like essential oils, I know, we were talking about on Wisdom Dialogues in person. This was really fun how it came up, because I was going, we have what's called VOG here, volcanic smog. That's what they call it, VOG, because it's volcano. And people seem to be affected by it, right? And so we're talking about it, and I go, there's just no such thing as this thing called VOG. There's no such thing as this. It's not a reality. You know, that the effect that you seem to get from it, that's the effect the mind wants from it. You're getting what you want. That effect is what you want. You want to see, because you want to see through that. You want to see through that. You want to heal that, in another way of saying it, you know. So I was talking, then it comes out of my mouth. Yeah, you know, people make it so real. There's even companies that make profits off of it. And I just started laughing. I was going, actually, I made a blend for that. We have the best laugh ever, because like I don't even know what I'm saying. It just comes out, you know. And it's like yeah, actually, you know, come to think of it, I got a blend like that.
I knew you were going to say that.
And see, here's the thing. Here's what it led into. See, I'm not really done when I say it's not. See, here's what it led into. It's like it's like anything that we use to get an effect. It's like magic. So one thing that we're using is, okay, the Vogue. That's like magic. We just got an effect of like, oh, it's the Vogue. Okay, I got to use the Vogue to get an effect, sickness or whatever. Well, the other magic is the cure.
Right. That's another idea.
The other idea is the cure. So, you know, I'm like, what cure would you like? How do you like it? How do you like your cure? What do you want? You want a pill? You want a shot? You want some essential oil? What works for you? What will convince the mind that you're already healed? What will convince the mind from your present state of mind right now? What will convince your mind that you deserve to be healed?
Ooh, wow. Right. Because the sickness is developed. It's just an idea in the mind.
It's an idea. It's not real. It's not even there.
It's not real.
It's like a painting over reality. And an essential oil comes along, or whatever it is, you know. That's why I started a business of essential oils, because for me, man, it's like, oh, this can be my medicine. I'm in. Count me in.
All you have to do is smell it.
Smell some good stuff. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll take that as medicine.
Tough to take.
Yeah, I'll make blends for it. I got a pain blend. You know, people go, this is the best stuff. It's better than anything I have ever used, medicine wise or anything, for pain. It's an oil that you put on. Some people don't think it smells the best. Some people think it smells okay. Some people think it smells awesome. But what everyone has in common, except two people, is that it kills pain on contact. No more pain. Yeah. Except two people. Except two people. Because, you know, I'm talking about, this is actually for like arthritic pain and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Headaches for a lot of people. Peppermint does it. For other people, the one I was just talking about, for Vogue, it's the same kind of thing. Chem detox. Chem detox. And the way it came about is, someone said, I've got all this pollution in Canada. He lived in Canada, and he said, what can you give me for pollution? So this blend came out. I sent it to him. He said, that works wonders, Hope. He says, I'm amazed. I tried all different things, allergy medications, and I was like, oh, awesome. Thanks for the feedback. Still, it wasn't a product. It was just sitting in our sample area. And a friend of mine came over and said, God, I'm just so affected by the Vogue. And I go, oh, here, try this. He puts it on his temples, and he's like, immediate relief. That's immediate relief. It's gone. And I was like, okay, that's a product.
Yeah, that one's going to be.
Yeah. So that one's called Chem Detox. I know I just plugged the heck out of that thing, you know. Detox. And thank you for listening, if you listen to that. And I love you.
I love you too.
All
right. Thank you.
So Tuesdays at 4. Yeah, much love from Amber to everyone.
Right back at you, Amber.
Yay. Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Hawaii time.
9 o'clock Eastern.
9 o'clock Eastern right now. That changes all. Well, maybe I'll just change my time. Never mind. Forget what I said. And for next week, anyways, it's 4 p.m. Hawaii time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And to join, if you want to come live, it's really fun to be live. If you'd like to ask questions, or you just like to be live, you like to come on live with me. Facebook.com/groups/wisdom dialogues. That's where I post the invitations, where you can find me. You can always email me if you need help or anything like that. I love to get you on, as Amber knows. Let's see, what else? miraclebotanicals.com. I talked about essential oils, but I didn't say where to go. miraclebotanicals.com. And all my videos are available. You can see me back when I had short hair to long hair. That's kind of fun to watch. You can go all the way to the back if you want. It's wisdomdialogues.org. Yay. So thank you so much. I love you again.
Or Hope Johnson YouTube.
Oh, yeah. You can do that. You can search for me on YouTube. Yay. I love you. Thank you. Next week. Until next week. You too.
Bye.
Aloha.